In the middle of a big green forest, there lived many animals. The forest was full of tall trees, colorful flowers, and streams that sang like music. All the animals lived together, sometimes fighting, sometimes helping, just like a big family. Among them lived a little turtle named Timo. Timo was kind and gentle. He loved the forest and his friends. But he had one problem. He was the slowest animal in the forest. When he walked, it looked like the ground moved faster than his feet. When he tried to run, the birds laughed because he could not even catch up with the breeze. But Timo did not mind too much. He liked to take his time, looking at the trees, smelling the flowers, and watching the clouds. However, there was one event that always made Timo sad. Every year, the animals of the forest held a big race. All the animals could join, from the fastest deer to the tiniest mouse. They all lined up at the starting line, ready to run as quickly as they could. The winner got a crown made of golden leaves, and everyone cheered for them. Timo also joined every year. But no matter how hard he tried, he always came last. Sometimes, by the time he reached the finish line, the crowd had already gone home. Some animals teased him, saying, "Why do you even join, Timo? You will never win." Others laughed, "You are too slow. The race is not for turtles." Each year, Timo felt embarrassed. Still, he never gave up. He told himself, "Maybe one day I will surprise them. Maybe one day being slow will not be so bad." One summer, the animals gathered for the race again. The forest buzzed with excitement. Birds sang from the branches, squirrels jumped around collecting nuts for snacks, and rabbits stretched their legs to prepare. The deer stood tall, ready to leap. Even the fox, known for his cunning, stood in line with a grin. And there was Timo, the little turtle, slowly making his way to the starting line. The other animals looked at him and shook their heads. "Here comes the slowest runner," said a rabbit, laughing. "Why do you even join, Timo? You will never win." Others laughed. "You are too slow. The race is not for turtles." Timo smiled shyly and replied, "I like being part of the race. I may be slow, but I enjoy the journey." The whistle blew and the race began. In a flash, the deer leapt ahead. The rabbits dashed like arrows. The fox and the wolf ran side by side, their paws beating the earth. Dust rose in the air as the faster animals sped down the path. And Timo? He moved one step at a time, his shell heavy on his back. He could hear the laughter fading as the others ran far ahead, but he kept going, steady and calm. Step by step, he followed the path, looking at the trees swaying and the little flowers waving at him. Halfway through the race, dark clouds suddenly covered the sky. The air grew heavy and the wind howled. Then, without warning, rain poured down. It was not just light rain, it was heavy, fierce, and wild. The path became muddy and puddles formed everywhere. The race that had started with cheers now turned into a struggle. The deer, who had been leading, slipped on the wet ground and fell. The rabbits, with their light feet, splashed into puddles and grew tired quickly. The fox tried to run faster, but the mud slowed him down. Soon many animals were panting, their legs shaking from the effort. But Timo kept moving slowly. His short legs did not slip easily. His shell protected him from the pouring rain. He kept his eyes on the ground, placing each foot carefully. Step by step, he moved forward. He did not hurry, but he did not stop. Along the way, he saw the deer lying on the ground. "Are you hurt?" Timo asked kindly. "My legs slipped. I cannot move fast anymore." "Then walk slowly with me," Timo said. "One step at a time." The deer hesitated. He was used to running fast, not crawling at a turtle's pace. But he had no choice. So together with Timo, he walked slowly. Further down the path, they saw a rabbit shivering under a bush. "What happened?" Timo asked. "The rain soaked my fur. I'm cold and tired." "Come walk with us," Timo offered. "Slowly, we can reach the finish line together." The rabbit joined them. Step by step, the three moved on. As they continued, more animals joined. The fox, the wolf, even the tiny mouse who had slipped into a puddle. All of them, once fast runners, were now struggling. But with Timo leading the way, they learned to slow down. His steady pace gave them courage. His calm voice told them, "Do not rush. The finish line will wait for us." The rain began to soften. The clouds slowly drifted away, and the sun peeked through. The animals were wet and tired, but they were moving forward, step by step, with Timo. At last, the finish line came into sight. The crowd who had been waiting impatiently gasped in surprise. Instead of the usual fast runners crossing first, they saw Timo, the turtle, leading a group of animals behind him. They all crossed the line together. For the first time, Timo was not last. He was at the front, guiding the others. The forest erupted in cheers. The birds sang louder, the squirrels clapped their tiny paws, and even the wind seemed to dance with joy. The wise old owl, who was the judge of the race, raised his wings and said, "Today we have learned something important. Speed is not everything. When the storm came, it was not the fastest who showed the way, but the slowest." Timo's steady steps guided everyone to the finish. He is the true winner today. The animals looked at Timo with new eyes. The rabbit who had mocked him earlier bowed his head. The fox smiled and said, "I was wrong, Timo. You are not weak. You are strong in your own way." Timo's heart swelled with happiness. He did not win because he was fast. He won because he never gave up, even when others laughed. And on that rainy day, his slowness became his greatest strength. From that year on, the forest race changed. It was no longer just about who was fastest. It was also about who showed kindness, patience, and courage. And every time Timo joined, the animals cheered for him, not because he was slow, but because he had taught them that sometimes the slowest runner carries the greatest strength. The story did not end with that one race. Timo's life changed in many ways afterward. Every morning, the animals came to him for advice. The deer, once proud of his speed, asked, "Timo, how do you stay calm when others laugh at you?" Timo replied, "I listen to my own heart. I know I cannot be fast like you, but I can be steady. When I walk, I enjoy the journey instead of worrying about the end." The rabbit who used to tease him said, "I always wanted to be first, but after the storm, I learned that being together is better than being alone at the front." The fox added, "I used to think clever tricks made me strong, but real strength is being patient, even when life is hard." Soon, the animals began to practice walking slowly with Timo. They called it turtle walk. They discovered things they had never noticed before. The deer noticed how the leaves changed color with the seasons. The rabbit smelled flowers he had always rushed past. The fox discovered secret paths in the forest by observing carefully. Timo felt proud. He thought, "I may be slow, but I can teach others to see the beauty of the world." As years passed, the story of Timo spread beyond the forest. Birds carried it to distant lands. Other animals, in other forests, heard about the turtle who turned his weakness into strength. Children by the river listened to the story and smiled. They learned not to be ashamed of their own flaws. One day, a little hedgehog came to Timo, crying, I cannot run fast. My legs are too short. Everyone leaves me behind. Timo patted him gently. I know how you feel, but don't be sad. Walk at your own pace. Sometimes the world needs those who move slowly. We see things others miss. The hedgehog's eyes brightened. You mean I'm not useless? Not at all, Timo said. You are special in your own way. The hedgehog joined Timo in his walks, and soon others followed. They discovered that life was not a race to finish quickly, but a journey to enjoy together. And so, Timo's lesson lived on. Being slow does not mean being weak. Being different does not mean being useless. Every pace,